Hello, this is a persuasive proposal for business and professional communications. What would you do to save a life? According to the responses on the class questionnaire, 5 out of 5 of my classmates said that they would save a life, or at least try to save a life if they had the opportunity. There's a very simple thing that you can do that can directly lead to saving somebody's life, and that is blood donations. I was first attracted to learn about blood donations after my father was battling cancer in the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and he received both blood transfusions and platelet transfusions as well. And it was, yeah, and I thought speaking on behalf of the Red Cross would be a great opportunity for me, both because it's something that I dealt with personally, and I think that's something I can get behind. Although they not only have a presence in Southeast Idaho, they are more of a national organization, and actually international as well. Okay, so according to the Red Cross website, every 2 seconds somebody needs blood, and that's an insane number. That's a huge number for me. That means that in a day, over 43,000 people need blood. That's over 15 million a year, and blood is used in a variety of ways. According to the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, blood is often used in cancer patients undergoing chemo, just like my father was, and he also had a bone marrow transplant as well. But it's also used with people who have sickle cell anemia or inherited diseases, organ transplant recipients, and those undergoing elective surgery as well. Women who are going through labor, both during and after, and premature babies as well. Oh, and of course, the most common one is trauma victims. Blood isn't only used in medical procedures or to help those who are battling cancer. So it's actually used in a lot of ways that most people don't realize. And one thing with that, blood cannot be stored for a long amount of time. So it's one of those things that is in constant need. It's always, yeah, it's in constant need. They have to have those who donate and those who are willing to give up their time and their blood to help others. Okay, so this means that people who are injured are being rushed to a hospital in the hopes that they have blood available that matches their blood type to keep them alive. What they're really hoping for is that somebody spent the small amount of time and donated their blood to really save their life. But what if there isn't any blood available? Like I said earlier, it's always in need because it cannot be manufactured. It has to be given by donors. And so yeah. So where are we getting this blood? So 38% of the population, according to Red Cross, is eligible to donate blood, but less than 10% of them do so. This seems outrageously low for me. So I decided to look into why that was the case. Why so few were donating when they could basically save a life. So I just couldn't believe that there are so many who don't donate blood, and I'm sure that they aren't doing it on purpose. But yeah, there's many reasons out there why not to donate blood, why people do not donate blood. I mean, but so basically, as far as eligibility, it's pretty broad. It's basically anybody over the age of 18, and they have to weigh at least 110 pounds, and they have to be in general good health. And finally, they have to have a valid ID. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, right? But according to my survey, 3 out of 5 of my classmates are afraid of needles, and that's actually in line with what the Red Cross states on the website is one of the common reasons why blood is not being given as much as it should be. The other major reason why is because they just haven't thought about it. So hopefully this is kind of enlightens some of you into the realization that blood is something that's needed. I've donated at least once a year for the past few years, and I can let you know now it's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. As far as that, and this is directly from the Red Cross website. The first step is to register, or either online or call in, whatever is easiest. Then there's a medical questionnaire that you just answer some questions about your health and about your history. As far as that, there's also a mini physical to make sure that you are in a good shape, that you're in good medical condition to donate blood, that you're healthy enough to donate essentially. Afterwards, you donate the blood, and that usually takes about 10 to 12 minutes. I've never I've never had to be there more than like 10 minutes with a needle in my arm. And finally, you get to enjoy some refreshments, some cookies and some juice there that they have, and it's always a great bonus. And then so after that, your blood is later screened again. That's actually done by the FDA. So they are the ones to set up oversight for the blood withdrawals and the blood screening as well. But that's something you don't have to worry about. So as far as that, there are several community blood drives every single month. I looked at the calendar for blood drives in the Idaho Falls area, and there was one almost every other day. And these can be great places to go with friends. You can meet new people, and you can both, know that hey, you're doing something that can impact somebody's life. So some tips from the Pacific, the Northwest blood centers, is the blood centers of the Pacific. Sorry. Is that so some tips that they gave is to stay well hydrated, and that kind of makes everything go smoothly, that makes everything go faster, you'll feel a lot better overall. And also, and this is a big one as well, but you shouldn't skip your meal beforehand. You should eat something beforehand, 4 hours beforehand. I know I didn't do so the first time, and it wasn't best. it wasn't pretty, I guess. And if you're not eligible to donate blood, there's a lot of other ways that you can help as well. You can always donate your time and volunteer, or you can make a financial donation, and lastly, you can even host a blood drive yourself. So any help is greatly appreciated, of course, but to host a blood drive, that's actually easier than I realized it would be. So to do so, you would just need to have a suitable location, you have to recruit some donors, and publicize the drive, and schedule the donation times as well. And Red Cross does everything else. They set up the barriers, they bring in the people, they set up everything else. It's kind of nice. So, and according to according to that, it's pretty easy. So one thing that happens with me at ICCU is my job, is that they actually do an annual blood drive, and it's a great place that we can go and mingle with coworkers that we don't see often from other facilities, and it's actually really nice. Finally, the Red Cross was started in 1940 under Dr. Charles Drew, and a little bit of history on the impact is just saying that so the Red Cross single-handedly is responsible for 40% of the nation's blood supply. That's a huge amount just for one company to do. They supply blood to about 2,600 hospitals in the United States alone, but also they do have a large international presence, like I mentioned in the introduction as well. They are oftentimes there when there's emergency situations, like such as natural disasters. They have a large emergency response type of situations. I'm sure if you've seen like the news about an emergency or a natural disaster, then you probably heard of the Red Cross. Well, blood is one of the most vital things for life, guys. I mean, that's as simple as it is. You might not think about it often, but I can assure you, if you've ever been sick, or somebody who's been sick or seriously injured, it's definitely on top of their mind and their family's mind. So if you can find an hour of free time, you can definitely help save a life. Thank you so much.